Welcome to the Breaking the Silence podcast. I am your host, Arthur Nikki Nicole. Here I believe in winning together and creating a safe, supportive space for people to share their stories and start their healing journey. My passion is to help people confront hidden battles, embrace their truths, and take steps towards a more fulfilling life. Every episode is designed to break the silence on topics that often go unspoken, leading to conversations that uplift, inspire, and transform. Join me as we break the barriers and find strength through shared experiences, one story at a time. Hey everyone, welcome to another powerful episode of Breaking the Silence. I am your host, Arthur Nikki Nicole, and this is the platform where the light shines on incredible people doing great things and make a difference in this world. Together, we will uncover untold stories, break barriers, and challenge the norms to inspire change. So get ready to be inspired, learn, and join this movement as we break the silence on the issues that matter the most and bring awareness to great people in the world. So let's dive into today's episode. Today's episode includes the guest, Big Frank 302, also known as Pen Franklin. He is a man who wears a lot of Kangos, y'all. He is a R&B soul singer, film producer, casting director, content creator, event planner, event host, and he is also the CEO of Tweet Your Hustle Media. So after the countdown, please welcome this amazing gentleman to the Breaking the Silence platform.
That's why I dance with you. Feel a baseline in your waistline, yeah. Don't wanna waste time, celebration, yeah. You feel the rhythm, it's in your system, and I gotta start.
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for being a guest on my platform. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself that haven't already said about you.
Well, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you again for the invitation to your podcast and your platform. Like you said, my name is Pen Franklin, R&B singer, songwriter, producer, also filmmaker, and I'm originally from New Jersey, but I represent the Delaware 302. But no, that's pretty much who I am. I'm an all-around musician, and I'm also a CEO of a multimedia company, and this is what we doing.
Nice, working. So
Absolutely.
since you wear all of these hats that you wear as an R&B soul singer, film producer, casting director, and then being a CEO at the same time, how do you balance all of these different roles?
Patience. I try to let the spirit lead me as far as to how to prioritize. Um, but I'm a father first and foremost, so my children, they get that attention and focus. But it makes it easier because now my children make music and create. My daughter draws, and I mean she's an amazing artist. So it's like now we get a chance to prioritize it together, where I'm able to be the family man and the music man as well.
Love it. So where did this name Pen Franklin come from? How do you come about these stage names?
Well, Pen Franklin, I wanted to pay homage to what I thought was my strong point, which was the writing. Um, my prior days, I used to write for a lot of artists that we listen to today. And in that experience, I got the opportunity to see what I enjoyed the most, which was, creating these records and watching them essentially grow legs of their own, and they're almost like little children. They get to grow up on the internet and do some, wonderful things. So that's the part that about the music business in itself, excited me the most, you know.
Okay, so like most artists, start off with some type of roots from their, maybe an uncle singing or an aunt singing.
Right.
How did you meet the mic?
I met the mic. First and foremost, that's a great question. I love this question because I got my start from my sister. Her name was Jamie, and she passed away. However, she had the opportunity to be signed with Michael Bivins at age 14. And I remember she missed an opportunity, but she was upset about it. She was only 14, so she was super upset. But I remember just seeing the passion come from her. It made me want to do the same thing. So, I mean, up until the day she passed, she literally like was like my biggest fan. Like she supported all my music, and she kept me on the straight and narrow of my pen. And I just got to give that credit to her to answer your question.
Nice. Sorry for your loss, and it's amazing that you're keeping her legacy going. Even after she's gone. That's amazing. So
Well, I
as
tell you, I tell you the best part. The best part is her children make music now, so it's almost like I get to see my start come to full circle because now I have records with my niece, and she's an amazing vocalist, and my other niece. And when I tell you, it's like I get to live that experience vicariously through her children. You know,
nice. I love
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Wow. They say the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So
a
hey,
hundred
she
percent,
left.
100%.
So with you being a songwriter, how does your approach to songwriting differ when you're writing, for yourself versus for a larger project or maybe a film or a collaboration event?
Once again, it's spirit driven. I like to write my records about one person. That way, when that one person hears it, it cuts back some of the pressure of I hope people like it because essentially the job is done once that person hear it and approve it. Kind of no matter what nobody else thinks. So that's the bonus of it. But in regards to writing with big artists, I mean, just the experience itself. I like to actually sit in with the artist in the studio because we're able to catch a frequency that's a little different. Like I would love to be at your show. You get what I'm saying? But for now, this virtual digital version is going to suffice, and it's doing a great job. But it's just something about writing with the artist next to you, elbow to elbow. It's a frequency and a passion that just exudes out the whole session.
I agree. I agree that in-person experience is nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Right.
But I always
Right.
ask all the artists that come across the platform because I'm an old school person. I like the 90s. I'm kind of stuck in the 90s era, but there are some artists that I listen to today too. But I ask
Okay.
everybody to come across the platform that do music. If
Okay.
you had to choose between the two, if there's even a choice, what do you
Mhm.
think is the main element of making a song, the lyrics or the beat? Because honestly, if I hear the beat and the beat doesn't sound good to me, I'm
Mhm.
probably gonna skip that song, within the next, I say 10 to 15 seconds because the beat is not catching me. And so I'm never gonna hear those lyrics, you know what I mean? I'm never gonna hear the lyrics. So what do
That's
you think
fair.
is the most important element?
Well, once again, that's a great question. I actually would say, well, I'll say it like this. I seen a couple studies of human nature and human behavior in, reference to music. And I don't know if it's all the way true, but I do believe it that, or an aspect of it that they say when you're sad, you enjoy the lyrics of a song. And when you're happy, you enjoy the beat of the record. So I feel like that's an interesting complex question because it poses a thought of, well, the perfect blend of the two is what makes a hit, right?
Mhm.
So it's a great question. I guess I'm just going to leave it to depends on how I feel that day.
Which you make a valid point. I never looked at it that way. It really depends on the person's mood.
Right,
If you're sad, you're gonna chime into those lyrics. But if it's
right,
just like something you want to dance to, vibe to, then you're gonna pay attention to the beat, the beat. So
100%.
you know, you're right. You're right. It depends on the mood. It really do.
And to be fair, music is so subjective. You know, the right song can bring you back to the right spot that you might need.
Okay.
So, you know, I mean, that's why I say I'm very thankful to be a part of this gifted community, because I mean, this is like, I don't want to do nothing else. You know, I don't. This is a great community to be in. You know, and we get to grow and learn every day.
Every day, every day. So if your career had a soundtrack, your whole career had a soundtrack, which song would you play at that pivotal moment in your journey? And why would you choose that song to represent those moments?
Wow, you coming with the great, you coming with the great questions today. Okay. Uh, well, interestingly enough, I do have a soundtrack to my life, and it's called Let Grow. It's a music movie. It's similar to almost like a hip opera, or like an R&B version of Streets is Watching from Jay-Z, or Beyonce's Carmen, when she did the thing with the Brad and all of them. Like, it was a music movie, you know. All the dialogue was scripted in the song, so it's a really good project. But I would say one song. If I have to pick one song.
One song. One song. I know it's hard. I know it's like tune to your babies.
Oh man. There's a record that me and my brother was talking about earlier today, and it's a record I made called Tired. And he loves the record, but he's like, Frank, that's you. Every time you sing that song, you control the room. And I'm gonna take heed to what he say, because I've performed it a couple times. But I would say that record because it's more timeless to me. Like, I can sing it in 2025 and it has the same effect that it did when I created it in, you know, way back in 2003. You know.
Wow.
So I would say the record Tired, which is unreleased, by the way. It's one of them things where if you know, you know.
Unreleased. Come on now.
Unreleased. Well, that's why he was pressuring me. He's like, put it on streaming. It'll do anything. But in my head, when the time is right, I'm gonna know it.
Now I've listened to. I said I always, before I do an interview with artists, I always binge on songs from like way back when up until current. You have a lot of different blends of music. So if you had to describe to someone that's never heard your music, you know, in a form of a playlist, how would you, or playlist and artist form, how would you describe your music to somebody to get them to listen to it?
I would tell them it's an interesting perspective from an urban hood nerd. But I use those three words in particular for a reason. In all of my music, I try to educate, you know, the younger men. A lot of my music is pretty much based towards that demographic, because my message is, you was a man before her and you're going to be a man after her. Just to encourage the young men to be that, you know. And you know, so I really would say that the title of the playlist would be Savvy Soul. Savvy Soul. I like that. It's in my bio, but I love it. It definitely like categorizes me in a comfortable place for me. Like, Savvy Soul is something I could be a part of, you know.
Nice. Now you said I've been asking good questions, so now I'm about to throw out some out of the box questions for you to make you kind of
Let's
think.
do it. Let's do it.
B, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm
All
ready.
right. So imagine imagine your journey as a video game.
Mhm.
What would the levels, challenges, and boss fight look like? And what would you want your player, yourself, to learn by the end of it?
Once again, one of the best questions I think I received all week. um, wow. So the video game, if my life was like the video game and somebody could, put that in and enjoy themselves, to entertain themselves, I would believe that it would be one of my strongest attributes, which is my heart, my giving, my generosity. Um, the way I value things is you know, unique to say the least. But it's me. I give from the heart. Rest in peace to my mother as well. My mother, she had a daycare, so she raised me in the daycare world. So I've always done well with children. That's why I teach vocal classes for them. I like to gear towards children because they got that hunger and that appetite to really want to, learn their craft. Adults give you too many excuses. But but in that video game, it would definitely have to be something that's network driven, where the spread is what is the actual fun. Like almost like do you remember back in the day the kids used to play with the Tamagotchis? Like the so one aspect I remember of the Tamagotchis was when you get to connect them. Like you get to go to school and your avatar or your character could correspond with somebody else. That was the actual fun. So my
Yes.
video game would definitely have to have, a focus on that. And the boss level would be maybe somebody who's stingy and don't, maybe it's my opportunity to get them to look at the glass as half full instead of empty, just to provide that encouragement. And they might look like the villain, but in reality, it's just their opportunity to, become whole.
I love it. Wow.
Yeah.
So if you could live inside of one of your songs for 24 hours,
Mm-hmm.
which one would you choose and what would you hope to experience or learn during that process?
Hmm. Great question. I would say my next release is called Medium, and it's a wedding song. And you can mark my words. This is recorded, so just mark my words. But I believe it's going to do what it's supposed to do. It's going to encourage love again. Um, I feel like it's essential. Some of the things we got going on currently. So, just to give you an example, in 2001, when COVID first hit, I made a dance record called Spanglish, which actually streaming wise was like one of my biggest spreads I've ever had in my career, like organically, like myself, and but that's because we were in a state of, confusion and mourning the loss, and we just went through a lot. So instead of me making a record that's going to like live in that frequency, I wanted to make a record that was going to get them out of it, almost like dance your pain away. And that approach really helped because organically spread on TikTok. And I mean that thing, I mean it was a movement. It definitely was a movement. But my intentions was pure. I just wanted my people, whoever do listen to me and new listeners, I wanted them to have an opportunity to um, you know, let grow some of the pain and gain, just a higher frequency of, man, we still got another day to do so.
Hey,
You know,
I agree because people don't think about it this way, but it's real life. Tomorrow is never promised. Like
absolutely.
sometimes the next minute is never promised. And if we start looking at life as this is my last day of my life to make things count, man, we can accomplish so many things in our lives if we work every day that way.
I agree.
Serious. So my last question for you is if you could send a message to your future self 10 years from now through one of your songs, what would you say and how would that song reflect that future journey?
I would say, well, the song would definitely have to be. It's so it's I told you I make my music so personal. It's like I would say the record would definitely have to be "I Love You," which is actually one of my biggest impactful records. It's only on SoundCloud. It's not on popular streaming. But that's because once again, it's like one of those records that if you know, you know. I performed at over 30 weddings, sweet 16s. People request it on Facebook all the time. Like every year, at least one person calls me like, "Hey, can you sing that song for I'm getting married or whatever." And but that record, it's a reminder to me that because when I wrote the record, it was like I did it in like 10 minutes. So it really wasn't a big deal to me. But to know the impact that through all these years, even in 2025, I could sing that record and it garners a certain amount of attention, and like the frequency just connects with the listener. And so it's just a reminder of my desire to wanting to be a vessel. Like I genuinely want God to use me. So when I was actually just telling my son, which is an artist, his name is JX Lore, I was telling him, I'm like, yo, we can't pray to God to be a vessel, to be used by him, and then complain when we doing our job. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Exactly.
it's I ask for these things, but it's better on this side. I can't explain it. It's like I know that I'm doing my part by creating the records and I'm holding true to my word. So, those benefits come back to me just for me, keeping my walk.
Yep.
So the record says, especially when I'm on the road, loving you is all I know. In case I never told you so, I love you. I think because you gave me a chance, if we could do it over again, I wouldn't trade you for a million fans. No, because I love you. And that will be the record to remind myself 10 years that the love is all that matter. Everything else is semantics.
You just threw me for a loop. I was like, oh my goodness, he just did a song on me. I love it. I love it. So I said that was the last question, but I do have one more question.
Okay.
If you could change anything about the music industry, what would it be? Because me personally, going through the different eras I've been through in my life, from the 80s, 90s, the 2000s, we went from vinyl, we went from cassette tapes, CDs, all different things, to now we're just streaming.
Right.
Being in the studio for hours on hand until you landed that song and that perfect sound and everything, to now everything is so easy to grasp.
Right.
What do you think needs to happen now in the music industry, and what do you hope that you could change about the music industry now, the way things are going, especially for artists not making any money from these streams and so forth?
Well, I would I wouldn't change anything about the music. I love the way the growth and the elevation that music has taken. Um, but I would change the aspects of the business. Um, because music is so subjective, it's like my cup of tea might be your coffee. You get what I'm saying? So I envision a world where, with the help of the internet, making the internet making everything so widespread that it just if the business was done fairly, which is 50-50 deals. I even agree to 60-40 deals, because if someone wanted to invest in a project and they just wanted to have a conversation with me to see the direction, I'm not opposed to that. But it's when you take advantage of, well, this is my platform and you pay me this amount. It's almost like the internet is one big filing cabinet. Who gave y'all the right to own the space in it? Like, it's almost telling me that you would charge us for oxygen if you could.
Okay.
And I don't like that. So me being just realistic, understanding where music came from and how, the growth did affect so many people. I look at it like, no, I would change the aspects of the business where the people, the creators, we find our own community and we all come together and we control that pot. Y'all can control the marketing and all that. Y'all the big boys, but it's like, nah, but without us, you get what I'm saying? Like, when you see the benefits of the writers strike and just understanding that our voices gotta be heard, because the minute we stop creating, that's a sad day.
Sad day and a bad day. Nobody makes money.
Right.
They need to look at it that way. Nobody makes money if it ends that way. So this is the time that I'm gonna shine the light hard on you. This is what I like to call the BTS 30 Seconds of Fame. So I'm gonna run your countdown again. And after your countdown, you're gonna be on the stage by yourself. And this is your moment to tell everybody what you have coming up in 2025. And also let them know how to follow your journey, where to stream your music. This is your time. Your time to shine. All right.
All right.
Feel a baseline in your waistline, yeah. Don't wanna waste time, celebration, yeah. You feel the rhythm, it's in your system, and I gotta start.
It's on you.
Y'all right now is checking out Penn Franklin, also known as Big Frank 302. Also put the check in Roosevelt Thomas' name. But you're checking out the new music that I got coming out. Hope today treats you well. And this is brought to you by Breaking the Silence podcast. The I love it here. Everything was so great. The best questions I've had by far. But my name is Big Frank. I also am the CEO of Trust Your Hustle, which is a multimedia and catering company, location Dover, Delaware, East Coast, and with hopes of expansion. So if you want to reach out to me, follow it on all social sites, Big Frank 302, no spaces. Big Frank 302's music. I have a new album as well on the way. The next record is called Medium. I really think you guys are going to enjoy it. But if you like that savvy soul, check in.
Thank you so much for coming to be a guest and allowing me to shine the light on you. I wish you the best with your next album release. If there's anything you want me to play on my end, send it to me and I'll try to play it on my end for my audience as well to bring you more exposure.
I appreciate you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And thank you so much to everyone that's out there that's watching this episode. This amazing artist, businessman. He wears a lot of Kangos, y'all. I told y'all. And he's talented too. So y'all make sure y'all check out his music on all platforms, especially the next album coming up, Medium. So remember, the courage to share your truth is the first step towards healing. And every story we tell brings us closer to understanding, growth, and change. So today's episode resonated with you in some type of way. Share it with someone who needs it. And let's keep breaking the silence together. So until next time, stay strong, stay inspired, and always speak your truth. Later.
Feel a baseline in your waistline, yeah. Don't wanna waste time, celebration, yeah. You feel the rhythm, it's in your system, and I gotta start, 'cause she caught me wishing. speaking Spanglish. We gas on piano. Hola mama, ¿cómo estás? Me amo Francisco. Oh, me gusta tu sonrisa. Yo hablo poquito español. You know the girl is right here. Face so sweet, but them hips so fierce, and you know it.
Thanks for watching another episode of Breaking the Silence. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.